Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sheikh Jassim is back.
Is
Yes,
he?
go on. What's happening? Tej is back, man.
Someone's on the wind up
Tej,
here.
where are you, man?
I'm here. What's going on? Someone's on the wind up here. What's happened?
Right,
Please,
Ted,
someone
quick
tell me.
question.
Yes.
Have you taken any sleeping pills?
Yeah, I've had a bit of cough medicine, a few sleeping pills.
All right,
yeah.
that's why you sound out of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
for
So,
something else.
so Tej is unfortunately not well. It's not the transfer, or should I say, the ongoings at the club that's got him down. I think he's just having a bit of a man flu, which is taking a few
If
minutes.
it was a
but-
transfer, he's failed his medical.
yeah.
I don't think what the goings on have helped. It's probably worsened the symptoms on it.
Riz, don't even start, man, because mate, I was just hopefully, boys, I know you lot have been a little bit different, but not all of you, but obviously, I was just in the background, just getting on with my thing. Yesterday, all I was concerned about was getting my S24 Ultra, and my biggest choice was what color do I get.
Oh,
And
you're
I'm looking at
you're not an Android, are you?
yeah, Android all the way, Riz, man, Android all the way.
I
You know
knew
what
that. I could guess that.
Oh yeah,
This is
yeah.
where Rich brings the lawsuits to cut us out of our 25%.
Yeah. And all I could see on Twitter, on the WhatsApp groups, I hear Sheikh Jassim mentioned SECs, all the boys. I think I'm with Tej for once, man. I don't know what's going on. I've kind of got a bit of a inkling of what's been happening. Someone, please, what's been going on?
Where do we start? I'll tell you what,
just-
shall I start?
Yeah,
I'll
because I
start
think you've
because
got. Yeah.
I was sending out the daily tweets about, oh, it's day 14, blah, blah, this, that, the other. As we're all aware, 24th of December, the news hit us. Jim Ratcliffe's agreed 25%, $33 per share, blah, blah, blah. From that day, he had 15 working days to present a tender offer to the Class A shareholders for his shares, right? So, offer never came. I started my little countdown, as you guys know. Got hurdles of abuse, don't know why. I was just counting to 15, man. But anyway.
People that when they look down and realize they got a small penis, don't worry about them. Carry on.
It could be that, bro. Anyway,
Yeah.
get to day 14, nothing happens. And on day 14, I thought, let me be very specific. Let me clarify that I am in the UK. I'm aware that, time difference between myself and New York Stock Exchange, and this is the position as of, I think it was like 6:34 or something. I posted the tweet. And then day 15 happened. We finally got the Q1 ER. We have 80 million quid in the bank for anyone that's wondering at the end of Q1. Debt's up as, standard shit. And then the tender offer came out. $33 per share for 13 million shares, which some were saying equated to like 29 point something or between 25 and 29%. I couldn't make sense of it, right? On that, there was things that I didn't even know were going to be included in the tender offer, which was basically a timeline of events, which was bidder A, who let's call bidder A Jassim, okay? Because that's who we all know or believe it to be.
So there was a bidder A
yeah.
and a bidder B.
Yeah, bidder A was Jassim, or let's call him Jassim. For argument's
But
sake.
Thomas Siliakis must be pissed off.
No one's mentioned.
No
Bidder
one
C,
donated
man.
to his GoFundMe. But it detailed 5 different offers. At one point, it said that, I think it was after offer 4, he was consulted by board of directors of Manchester United that $35.25 would be an acceptable price. He went away, came back with reportedly, well, not reportedly, this is in the SEC filings, anyone go check it out. He came back with a bid of 34 something for the Class B shares and 28 something for the Class A shares. To which Manchester United turned around and said, no, we want all the shares valued equally, because obviously they wanted a full sale, right? why else would they, try and shaft shareholders and stuff? So that was that revelation. And then obviously there was a bit in there about him withdrawing and walking away from the table.
Afzal, sorry, just to interrupt. Was it $24 for the iShares?
I think it was 28.
28.
Because the reason why I ask, I think it was around about 24 because somebody was saying that it was a week or two before it was at 27. So to offer less than what it was at its peak was almost like an insult to them.
So give me 1 second. I've got it in my DMs.
So I think it was something like that. That it was $24.
So
Many cents.
actually, I've got all the offers. So first offer was $25 for A and B.
Mm-hmm.
That was 17th of Feb. 24th of March was $28 for A and B. 28th of April was $28.53 for A and B. 16th of May was $30 for A and B. 22nd of May, guidance was given about $35.25. And then 1st of June was $34 for B and $24.81. So you are correct, yeah, $24 for A shares, which is roughly a 27% discount for A. Thank you, Brian, for that.
Thank you, Brian. Riz, go on. I know you want to say something, but before you do, Riz, sorry, Tej, are you caught up at this point?
Yep, getting there.
Okay. God, Riz.
No, there's nothing specific I want to say, if I'm honest. What I said we discussed before the pod started, and I don't want to air any of that shit on a pod. I think if you want to believe what Ben Jacobs has put out there, read it again, his tweet last night, his message last night. Read it again and again. That's got hostile takeover written all over it, in my opinion. Something's amiss, basically. Something ain't right. Something in this deal just doesn't feel right. You don't go to the SEC. You don't go to the SEC when with evidential proof, which is what they're doing. With, if they did not believe they had the club wrapped up and something went down last minute, yeah, they have gone and refuted the story that's been reported in the SEC filing. They're disputing that. And they've gone directly to the SEC with their own evidence. Let's see what that brings us. Something just isn't right about this. Let's be honest, guys. What the fuck is right about these Glazer, Ben Jordans, right? Nothing's right about these fucking motherfuckers. In any aspect of whatever they touch in life, there's nothing that's right about these fuckers, right? The Glazers. So I'm not surprised, but something definitely is not right in this. And I think it's going to be quite a revealing next few months, I'd say, in this. It's going to be quite the very fact that Qatar have gone to the SEC direct with all their evidence. I'm interested to see what the next few months bring us, because that's quite damning.
Yeah, I agree. I think Aki, I mean, even if you look at it from what was it? Was it Christmas Eve? It was Christmas Eve, isn't it? That the news come out, and we were like, "What the hell? This is unprecedented." I mean, I've mentioned before. I was telling somebody that yes, out of SEC working hours, you can announce something, and people were saying, "No, you can't. No, you can't." But obviously, you can. But it's very few and far between done. But I know from even in the Discord, Aki, we've got some knowledgeable people in there as well. Excuse me, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody was saying that this was kind of rushed. I don't know whether it was in the whether it was in the filings or whatever have you. I don't know. Tell us a little bit about that. I know obviously somebody's been talking to you, telling you some of the stuff.
Yeah. So the filing itself, obviously, it said obviously Jim's bid comes in at 33. Jassim came in at 34. Got rejected. I think Jim's got rejected as well. October, it says obviously in the filings that Jassim withdrew. I believe that he didn't withdraw. He just left it on the table and he walked away basically, but not withdrew.
Yeah, that's one of the things they're disputing, by the way.
Yeah. And basically, the Glazers ran back to Jim Ratcliffe, accepted his offer for 33. and Jim gave a deadline for Christmas Day, and Christmas Eve they basically just got an agreement done. Because for me, if it wasn't rushed or anything like that, they would have just completed the whole deal. But for me, it was rushed, and there's more to it anyway. But because they've only come to an agreement, and Jim said, if there's nothing there on the table before obviously Christmas Day, then obviously I'm going to walk anyway. Do you know what I mean? So the Glazers probably thought, you know what, we've lost out on Sheikh Jassim, and if the only option now is Sergeant Ratcliffe, which is 25%.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, like you said, the first and foremost, the timings have just been crazy. But even what was in the so-called agreement, because I know that if this isn't all settled by the 14th of February,
Yeah, something like that.
Valentine's Day, you know, I'm sure Ted, you know
Yeah,
about
the tender
that. You know,
offer.
a bit of a,
Yeah.
the romantic Tedges. If it's not completed by midnight by that time, all bets are off from Ratcliffe side of things, isn't he?
Now, just to back that up, that can be extended.
And who's
But
that
it's
extended
like
by?
I'm not
April,
sure who, but it's like a 10-day working window, working
Is it
day
10
window.
days only?
Yeah,
I think
it's
yeah,
weird.
it's like 10 days at a time.
It's weird.
I thought-
I know what you're talking about, Reese, because there's one in
I
April,
thought it was
wasn't there?
April. Yeah.
I think isn't it the case of I don't get it because like I said, there's a window whereby between now and April, if somebody comes in with a higher offer, the Glazers can accept it, but they're just going to give a compensation package of $66 million or $6 million to Ratcliffe.
Yeah, superior.
But then we
also
also saw a document as well which said that if it's not done by the 14th midnight, 14th of February, that the deal's also off the table as such. I mean, like I said, go on.
I don't know what dates what. What I do know is going to get interesting with what Qatar are doing now directly with the SEC. That's damning, guys, for me.
Yeah,
That's very
it's major.
It's there's one way to react to this is to say no, we'll refute what's over there, what's been said or what's been filed. It's not correct, and if anyone wants to ask us, we'll provide all the evidence. That's one way of doing
Riz,
it.
I have a question.
The way they've done it, one sec, mate. The way they've done it
Go on.
is they've basically said incorrect information. We are now going directly to the SEC with our evidence. That's a different approach altogether. That's very hostile.
Yeah. But my question, just on the back of what you said,
Can I ask a question for the not so smart people in the know? Who's I might miss this. Who's gone to the SEC?
Qatar, Sheikh Jassim's camp.
Oh wow! Okay.
Penny's finally dropped.
Okay.
So basically, Ted, I knew you wouldn't be following it. So basically, what's happened, Ted? Yeah, they've obviously when you have to reveal things in the SEC, because obviously we're a publicly limited company, you got shareholders, you got to be transparent. And what's in there is basically says Sheikh Jassim was doing offers. He never even gave proof of funds. It's almost like he couldn't afford it. He was kind of messing us about, and we went with Sir Jim Ratcliffe's. But what's obviously happened is Sheikh Jassim is refuting that, character assassination as well, to be fair. And I think we'll touch upon that in a second as well. And they said, no, hang on. We've actually, because even Keegans dropped an article this evening as well, where it says basically Sheikh Jassim's camp saying, actually, no, we did offer more. We met their price, the Glazers' price. But there's two articles. I think the one he deleted, which actually the first one that they deleted said actually they offered more than Ratcliffe.
They did.
And I think and you've said this before, Riz, and I think then they kind of updated it for whatever reason, and then just said that they did meet it, and what's been said in the SEC filings is false.
And they've gone to the SEC with the evidence of their submissions to the RAIN group of what has been filed incorrectly, but they've gone with the evidence of the truth directly to the SEC. They ain't fucking about. So I think it's going to get very messy. But go on, you asked a question, Afzal.
Yeah, well, now turns into 2 questions to piggyback on what Hop said. So I'll ask both questions and then, answer at will, boys. Question number 1. Riz said they would have just refuted the claims and, moved on with their merry lives or whatever. But if you withdrew, why would you care? That's question 1. So if you really withdrew and really walked away from the table, why do you feel the need to go to the SEC?
I think
so. That's
question.
I'll answer that. Are you gonna ask them? Sorry, Riz. Are you gonna
ask the second one? Yeah.
Because I was gonna say ask them because otherwise we probably won't get on to the second question.
So my second question was on the back of what you said regarding what did hang on. What did you say?
Who's you?
Okay. You mentioned SEC. That was it. So you mentioned obviously we have to play by the book. This, that, the other. Now, does anyone here know what the potential ramifications are for falsifying documents with the SEC? So that's my 2 parts.
Second question. Not
So
really. No idea of the various levels of sanctions or ramifications by the SEC. I'm sure people will quote most wide and far apart from something small to something massive. So I've got no Scoobies on that second question. On the first question, you asked, why would they care if they withdrew? Yeah?
Yeah.
I keep saying they didn't withdraw.
Yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying.
Had the club.
The whole narrative
they will fully believe they had the club.
So repeat that again, Riz. Repeat that again. So because I know at one point, like you said, they thought they had the club. So repeat that again.
They're confident they've got the club. That's it. They've won it. So something has gone down literally in a 48-hour window. Yeah. From when they believed they had everything 100% secured. And now they're going directly to the SEC with all of their evidence. Not just what Ben Jacobs has reported. They'll be going with everything. They could potentially, coming to the second question a little bit, they could throw the Glazers behind bars, man. Potentially.
Yeah, because I think Riz, so someone basically mentioned to me saying it's the Keegan article if it is a nothing article and the likeliest outcome is that Qatar will walk away, will move on basically. Someone replied back and goes, in what world do you think them inquiring with the SEC for corrective statements mean that they're going to move on, irrespective of who you support? If that filing is deemed incorrect, misleading, that will result to fines and fraud charges. Be logical.
I mean, on that, I think that was your first question, wasn't it? So why would they could they just be doing it because of character? Yeah, could it be just character assassination? So they may still not want the club, or they may not think, well, F this, we don't even want it. We don't even want to deal with the Glazers no more. But the way they've assassinated our character,
it's that as well, Harps. It's that as well. But they fully believe. You know what I was saying, and I still back what I said back then to this day. They were fully believed they had the club.
Because I know from day one, even when we were on Spaces,
and perhaps they still do think that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, like I said, Riz, I think from day one we've always said, you've always said, even on Spaces, is that what they kind of said was the Qataris, like, go and do what you want to do, get your conversations with Ratcliffe, let us know what the price is, and we'll beat it. And like you said, I think obviously even articles from like the Reuters in June. Was June or July, exclusivity was mentioned. Obviously, even the likes of Rio Ferdinand came out with stuff. Even the stock market halted for a brief amount of time as well. So something had gone down. Something had happened. And like I said, then nothing happened for up until October, where then we look at these filings and say, yeah, they've pulled out. Sheikh Jassim and Camp have pulled out. So there's a long time between June and October that things had gone on. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know whether you got any more to add on that, just before moving on.
Nothing more to add. Just to reiterate, I think we're in for some fireworks.
I think there's one thing that I want to mention. I think there's one thing I want to mention. Afsal, do you remember? I think a few hours ago when I think you spoke to Brian about something. He dropped a few figures and stuff. And
Yes.
I think there was a date from June, like a long gap, a few months, wasn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. June, from when like Rio would come out, the stock market halted.
Yeah.
Even one of Jassim's friends would said congratulations.
Offer was
They-
first
they
June,
had the
withdrawal
club.
was October.
Yeah.
They had.
Yeah. So that
Remember what-
offer. Yeah.
Go on, back.
So that so basically that offer that came in June when they got exclusivity. When did that end at the end? It was October, wasn't it? So what happened in that period?
So what happened? From what I was told was that they'd agreed a figure.
Yeah.
Glazers changed their mind and increased the price, and that is what's being reported in some quarters right now through your Keegans.
Just to
and your
play the other
Jacobs or
side.
whatever. So what's actually being reported is that they changed the price.
Mm.
They kept
And
something
that
about.
is not, and that's not beyond reason with the Glazers.
Yeah, changed the price. They thought they could milk them, and it's even come out that one of their complaints is, why was the prices being quoted through journalists being reported at a much more inflated price than what the reality has now come out? They beat that price that Jim's got that at for 100% of it, and those fucking cretins thought they could milk Qatar, and what Qatar would not let themselves be done is be milked.
So I think
just on that price thing.
I think it's an interesting few weeks, months ahead. Yeah, go on after.
Yeah.
One of them.
So just on the price thing, Ben Jacobs mentioned $6 billion US. Quick calculation, that's roughly 4.7 billion rather in sterling. So you're talking these articles that have come from the Daily Mail and things like that are saying that the asking price was 4.5. If the asking price was 4.5, they beat it.
Yeah, they beat the price. They matched what the Glazers wanted and some, and then the Glazers wanted and some.
Yeah, because the other thing is that what I found confusing was, and not confusing, I suppose, is that a lot of them saying that they fell short. Jassim and Camps fell short by 500 million. No, and this is leading on to the next. I'm sorry, I'm laughing now. And
He couldn't prove he had 500 mil. That's what happened.
Well, so where was the point? Yeah, where he stopped being able to prove what either he or the 92 Foundation could afford.
I don't know. I think what they're presenting to the SEC, it will get revealed. They're going with the evidence. They're not just going to make a complaint. They're going with evidence that where they submitted everything that they've submitted, fully evidential through the RAIN group, documented. They're presenting that to the SEC and say, look, here's the evidence of what we did. Here's electronic evidence of what we've submitted. Yeah. Compare this to what they've put in their briefing to you, Mr. and Mrs. SEC. And that's going to explode. That's going to absolutely explode.
Before
how stupid can you be? Did you not think that this would happen? The daft Ben sure does.
This is what I was going to say. But Tej, I know you're awfully quiet, mate. I want to keep you involved. So I'm going to Any questions or anything like that up until this point?
Just thanks, Riz, lads, Akira, Afsal, for depressing me
Salam
further.
Margia.
For depressing me further. So what you're saying is we're not getting taken over by Qatar. We're also going to get slapped up with fines and bloody corruption charges.
What have you been listening to?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Bro,
you know what? I'm glad to
get off the cough meds.
No, Tej, this medication that you're on, yeah. Can you read the label on the box?
Tej, when you went to Amsterdam, did you bring anything back?
Johnny Walker, 40% volume. That's the medication. But you know what, Tej? No, Tej, 1 second. But I really appreciate you coming on today because, in a way, you represent, I think, most of the people we interact with.
The average fan.
I don't know if it's the average fan or like you said, some people just don't care or they're just not up with it. But No, I appreciate, and that's why, like, at the end of the day, I think it's good to have you on here, asking these questions, like you said, either layman's terms or the average fan. That's why I'm just asking. Is there anything there that you're just thinking, well, this just doesn't make sense? Why would they do X, Y, and Z?
Look, I applaud you boys. You boys got the commitment, the energy, the time, the patience to, stay up to date with this stuff. And I just don't have it. I don't even have the attention span for it, to be honest with you. So I applaud you boys for all the strong effort. I just get to reap the rewards and get to find out what's going on. But I think what it is for me, I was heartbroken because I thought Qatar would be in there before the start of the season.
Can I ask you a question, Taj? Can I ask you a question, honest question, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and stop myself from asking you the question and answering it myself as well, right? I'm going to stop myself from doing that. But why were you heartbroken?
That's what I was about to ask as well. Yeah. Why was you heartbroken? Qatar didn't take over.
I was heartbroken because I thought finally we're going to have brand new owners who actually who care for the club, and it's going to be, the mood's going to lift and everything's going to feel great again. That's why I was a bit gutted, I'll be honest.
All right, so I'll play devil's advocate on this side. You said Jim doesn't care about the club.
Say again?
How do you know Jim doesn't care about the club? Why are you saying Jim doesn't care about the club?
No, look,
I'm just playing devil's advocate intentionally here.
Yeah. So with Jim taking over, I've got no issues. I'm going to be open minded, see how he gets on. But for me,
I've got issues.
I wanted a full ownership. I wanted full ownership. I didn't want a part owner. I wanted Glazers out completely. That's all it was for me.
Riz, just before you come in, Riz, just before you come in, yeah, exactly. I think I really want to nail on that because all of us four here, other than Tej, I don't think any of us are even open to the way things are with Jim Ratcliffe at the moment in time. So, sorry, Riz, I don't know whether you're going to ask the same question, but before we move on, I really wanted that question answered. What gives you that belief, or what gives you that open-mindedness to say, you know what, I'm just gonna see how it pans out?
And when you answer, I'll rip it down, by the way. But go on.
Yeah. Tej, go on.
Tej, that's a question for you.
He's going to have a glass.
Sorry, I thought it was. Yeah. I thought he was asking Riz.
No, he's asking you,
God.
man.
Oh God! I'll be honest with you, I kind of switched off there midway through.
Repeat the question. Johnny Walker, man. Stuff the Johnny Walker, man. Bloody hell.
So the question is, what? Yeah. Go on, ask the question again.
Go on,
so Tej, you said you're open minded. Okay, first of all, you said you're gutted about Qatar not coming with. I think the things that we've already discussed, which is fair enough. But what gives you the open mindedness, or what gives you the belief things are going to change with Jim Ratcliffe?
So let's be careful with our words.
29%.
Let's be careful with our words. Open minded belief that things are going to change. What I'm saying is, in giving Sir Jim a chance, what I'm saying is, at the moment, it is terrible. It's getting worse and worse. We've got him in charge for what, 25% or whatever it is.
Let me go next, Hops.
Yeah. So let's just I can't see much changing. I can see things getting a lot worse before they get better.
Don't block me, bro.
But you know what? I'm too afraid to answer. I'm gonna get Riz gonna pull my pants down.
Not you. No.
No, Riz is gonna ask you the next question. But no, seriously, on a serious note, Tej, because like I said, I think you do represent a lot of fans. I'm not saying a majority. I'm just saying a lot of fans, and I genuinely want to just tap into that, and because people obviously over text or whatever not being able to articulate themselves. So I'm gonna hope you are gonna be able to do some of that. But just answer openly. You're not going to get strung up or anything like that because your opinion is your opinion. At the end of the day, it's not wrong.
So I've been told. I've been told that.
Hopefully not by the Tyler, but go on.
Big up Reese the Tyler, Solio Tiling. If you guys need styling, big up Reese the Tyler.
Yo, we're not getting sponsored, bro.
Go.
Free shout out.
Man's in like 4 fingers in deep with the Tyler. Yeah,
go on. Go on, answer the question.
Lost my trailer. I heard he loves United. Heard he's got a big passion for the club. Heard he wants to make changes. I think personally, the only other thing I was thinking was that if he starts off with 25%, then maybe he can eventually take over more and more, and eventually, there's a backhanded strategy that he can eventually leverage the Glazers out in time. I don't know.
Okay.
That's sort of what I was open-mindedness to. But again, I'm not too close to the financials. I'm not too close to it all. It's sort of like a deluded fan in hope. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, right? first thing I want to say, when you have rival fans celebrating this deal, surely that's got to be a red flag to you if you don't understand. If you're saying you don't understand financials or how it would all work or anything like that, that's irrespective, right? You don't need to.
Yeah.
The very fact that rival fans are celebrating it, that's got to be one thing for someone that doesn't know or is not in the know that, hang on, something ain't right there. Why would a rival fan celebrate us getting bought out by this? Yeah?
True.
Or 25% coming in. Now, let me explain. I'm chatting to you here, Tej. Just want to play, just literally want to ask you a question and just play my thought process out to you in a logical way so I can explain to you what I'm saying.
Yeah.
First question was that. I've already asked it, right? Why are rival fans celebrating it? Second question I got is, before I ask the question, is this your understanding from what you've read out there that Jim comes in at, let's call it 20x%, because some are saying 25, some are 20 and 29. Let's just say 20x%, yeah? And he's going to have whole sporting control. Is that the general understanding of what Jim's deal means to you from what you've heard and read out there?
My honestly, Riz, my understanding, a lot of people I speak to, they don't fully understand, they don't know, and I don't fully know.
Okay. So what's been reported?
So all I know that has been reported is that eventually he'll be in a position where he can take over in time. What that looks like, I have no idea. Whether it's even achievable or feasible, I don't know.
No, there's no path.
That's not one sec. That question there is really that assumption you've just made there. That's where a lot of people, in my opinion, have got clouded judgment that have that opinion. One sec, boys. Nowhere in the filing, nowhere does it state that he's going to go and take over. Nowhere is that those plans laid out. So it's hope. It's hope, correct?
Yeah, it's all hope.
But this is what I'm going to say though. But isn't that this is the frustrating thing for me? If you as a fan had 18 years of the Glazers, I mean, majority of us want them out. I thought it was 100%, but when reading a lot of things recently, it doesn't seem like it's 100%. But isn't that the bit that you should be saying? This is my club, man. Now we've got time to make a change. This is the time now. I want to know what's happening. I want to voice my opinion, and we're nearly there. They're doing a strategic review. They need the money. They need to either get out or, are you not as a fan, Ted, think a true fan of the club thinking, this is the time, man?
Right.
Yeah.
1 sec. I want to go down this route. So question 1 was, why is rival fans celebrating? Question 2, we'll come back to that, but we went on to hope, which was going to be question 3, which was, there is nothing in the offer, the tender offer, there's nothing in the filing at all that even gives any kind of hint of a future full takeover. And there's been 0 plans laid out by him saying that he wants a full takeover. So it is purely wishful thinking, right? Now, the very fact that he's not been very open in he's been open about a lot of stuff, right? He turns up at games, he's talking to journos, he had a great meeting with Must fan group, apparently, and apparently was said in there, I don't know what the plan is yet. Isn't that a worry immediately, because the Glazers themselves never told anyone what the grand plan was? So potentially you've got a 7th Glazer in that's coming with no grand plan, with no commitment to buy the full club. But the only thing that's being reported is that he's going to have sporting control, which we'll come on to that. That's my last part, Harps. Yeah, we'll come on to that in a minute. But the very fact that, he is given no outlines of what he wants to do, and there's no guarantee and there's no hint or documentation in any way, shape or form in the filing that he's going to do the full payout, it leads 100% to just wishful thinking and hope. Yeah, so rival fans celebrating, we're hoping he might come in, the second part is, for a full buyover, is wishful thinking. Third thing, right, is this, sporting control. And we mentioned this a little bit in the last pod, but I want to mention it again. What does sporting control mean? Sporting control means you have an agreement with the majority owners that you will decide all football matters, whether it's the coach, whether it's the sporting director, whether it's the scouts, whether it's the infrastructure around that setup, the medics, anything related to the sporting aspect of the business. you have control of. Okay, let's play that through a little bit, Tej. Yeah, imagine that's the control I've got, which has been reported. You're coming in with sporting control, and people say that. Right. Imagine I'll be Glazers in this, right? Don't know why I hate myself, but I'll be Glazers in this role play. You be Jim Ratcliffe in this role play for a second, Tej. Yeah. You only have sporting control, Tej. You only have sporting control. I'm the majority shareholder still, so I control the finances, right?
Yeah.
You're coming to me and saying, right, Glazers, I wanna spend 300 million to overhaul the squad. I want to sack the manager. It's going to cost another 25 million, or making it another X million to buy him out of his contract. I want to go and buy this, get this other manager. I've got to pay another Y% compensation to that club to get him. All in all, I want to spend 400 million on transfers, right? You've got sporting control, Tej, yeah? You can do that, yeah?
Yeah.
But I control the finances because I'm a majority shareholder. I could turn around to you and say, oh, Diddums, mate, sorry, money's a bit tight. Can't give you that dough. You've only got sporting control, buddy. You don't have financial control. So actually, you've got no control.
Yeah. I also
you can't do shit, actually.
Yeah, I also actually had in my head as well, and you're going to laugh at this, Riz, I maybe thought that maybe Jim takes over that 25% and then Qatar still take over as well. And then there's a bit of a double team up going on. I don't know. But again, I'm so far gone for it. But I'm quite open and honest with it. I didn't really understand a lot of it. And you know what? It's nice to know you boys got a lot more knowledge than me. You got a lot more patience than me with this stuff. But I just, again, I'm that clouded judgment. I'm hopeful that something will change. And
so hopeful rather than anything concrete.
Yeah, that's wishful. What it is. It is all hopeful, and I think Riz, by listening to me, I've been your biggest fan, and I'm still hoping that something else comes up. But I think it's clear as day now that
he has been your biggest fan, Riz. One second, he has been your biggest fan. He's even asked for a signed photograph, which I believe you still haven't delivered.
No. One thing is important.
And we did role play today.
No. On top of what you were, where you were leading with this, Harps, average fan, a lot of fans, this is what I want to explain, Tej. Do you get that? You've got sporting control, but actually you've got no control because you have to come to me to make that sporting vision come to life. Say you want to get rid of some rotten eggs in that squad, and you have to buy them out there. Remember when Edu went into Arsenal, Arteta went in, they got rid of Aubameyang, they got rid of Ozil, they bought their contracts out, they got rid, That costs money, bro, That overhaul to get Arsenal to where they are now, that they've gone through, that costs money. So imagine Jim has got the sporting control. He actually has no control because sporting control to make those decisions and make those changes that are clearly needed at United because they're big and drastic, it's going to cost money. So when Ratcliffe is coming to me, the Glazers, to ask for money to execute your sporting control ideas, I'm turning around to you and I'm saying, sorry, I don't have the dough, which means your sporting control and the strategy that you've got for it can't be implemented, which basically means you've got no control. So it's an absolute farce. And people, the average fan, has got the wool pulled over their eyes, thinking, he's got sporting control. It's an absolute farce. Because actually he's got no control because the Glazers can veto any spends he wants to do that's going to drastically change our fortunes. And let's not kid ourselves. We need drastic change. We need an overhaul.
You know, the funny thing is as well, is that it's Jim's money that's been invested as well, not Glazers.
No, but it's Jim's money that's been invested in what? Majority of his money is invested in the Glazers' penthouse suites in Florida and shit, right? That's where not in Manchester United Football Club. Let's be clear. That 1.3 billion is not going into the club. He is committed to spending 300 million on infrastructure, correct?
Yeah.
300 million on infrastructure. Right? That's one part of many things that need overhauling. Sporting control means no control through what I just explained. Now, boys, do you get that? That role play, I'm coming to you saying, right, I've got sporting control. Here's my vision and here's my strategy that I need to execute, which means year 1 of the strategy, year 2 of strategy, year 3 of strategy. This is the spend I need to do. And that spend's going to get this result. It's going to make these changes and it's going to deliver this result the following year. And I go to the Glazers and they turn around to me and they say to me, because they are still the majority shareholders, they all have the financial controls. Yeah, Jim doesn't have the financial control. He has the sporting control. He goes to the Glazers. They say, "Sorry, mate, tough luck. We ain't got dough. Your sporting control vision all of a sudden is out of the window. So actually, you've got no control. It's all the farce to line
So
the pockets up with $1 billion.
Riz, it's fair to say then that the club is just, it is really, it's getting worse by the day then, isn't it?
So that's the point I'm making. Why are people rejoicing in this?
And not just
that, but that's one thing I will say. If you look, I haven't rejoiced or anything like that. You know what I mean? If it lifts the mood for a bit, you know what? We don't go to Etihad and get shitted for a change. And you know what? We do come away with it, and you know we can go a weekend without being humiliated. That's enough for me at the moment. I refer to our earlier
getting humiliated. We're going to away fans and they're celebrating Jim buying us, buying a Porsche. They're celebrating it.
But I definitely think there's a piece in this Ten Hag thing coming out with. I think Gary Neville talked about it the other day. I do think that he's fighting for his job, but I think that they will get rid of him because I think he's
Ted. Right, Ted. Let's keep this takeover, man. Keep it takeover.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about the players or the Ten Hag.
No, but in terms of the takeover, the thing is, what I'm saying is, it's going to be another mistake if we get rid of him.
No, forget that. But the other thing is, what is giving you the confidence? Because I know a lot of people are saying that they've got some great sporting excellence.
Boys, can I ask you? Yeah, cyclers, they can cycle, man. But a cycle to work scheme might come in. Listen, boys, I want to ask all of you a question. All of yous, right? So, Tej, I've had that conversation. I've got a question for Afzal, Banks, and you, Hart.
Scared now.
Because second podcast in a row, I've made this point, but you guys going silent, man. Somebody please answer me. What control does Sporting Control actually have? Even after what I've just explained right now. Answer me.
Cool.
I think it basically means as well is that
it's a show.
They can look towards selling off more things, can't they?
No,
right,
I think the only
I think
the only thing that they'll try and do is
not try and do, bro. With Sporting Control, what can they do?
The sporting control will be the case of they'll take the process of hiring the correct people. So whether that's in data, whether that's in sporting jobs, you know, getting the right people, that nature. So rather than the Glazers picking the CEO, who then the CEO does a bad job of picking the correct manager or the director of football or something. So they're just going to hope for that. But you're right. Basically, what Jim Ratcliffe is, he's going to be the cannon fodder. Because it's a bit like when, you know, everybody says about the Glazers, they blame them because of the stuff that goes on the pitch. They very rarely blame the Glazers about anything that happens on the business side of things, which, again, they are shit at that as well. But this is basically, he's the cannon fodder.
Yeah, when I ask one very important question?
Yeah, go on. Just hold that thought, bro. Just hold that thought. Let me just finish this bit. Sorry, officer. Because I really want the thing. Let's say in the most layman and the most basic terms possible, Sporting Control for Jim in this deal means he actually has zero control of being able to drastically, and we need drastic measures, change our fortunes.
See, the thing
because it costs money. It costs money.
The thing is, if Ratcliffe is going to come in and change the fortunes of the club, so he needs control of the club, club.
Yes.
So why are the Glazers not just giving him the club on the price that they want?
Because it's not match the price they want.
Yeah, it doesn't mean can he not afford it? So, do you know what I mean? And this is my gripe with him. Why are you not going to take full control of it? You're meant to be an intelligent guy. Obviously, he is. You know, and that doesn't always transpire into just because you're good in business that you'll be good in sports, which they've clearly shown as well. But why are you not just going to take the whole club? No, that's my. He's enabled the Glazers to stay.
If he won outright 100% of the club, I'd have a different opinion on it. My opinion stems on him that 25% will do fuck all for us on the football pitch. Okay, someone will argue, yeah, it could. You've just named it. You could go and hire the sporting director under that. You can hire the manager. You can have the coaches. You can hire the scouts. You can get the infrastructure of the management and people in place. Then the tools to give them to do the job is going to cost money. and that money is controlled by Glazers. Let's say they agree in their strategy that year one, we need to get rid of these 4 players. We need to buy these 3 players, but only 3, because we've got one coming through the academy in the structure that they'll set up that will work. That, like a Mainu, for example, might have to buy another midfielder. He's going to fit into that first team very well. And you know what, boys? We are going to actually spend 300 million, because these players that we're getting are top-notch quality, and we've got the Man United tax, which we always have, and the British and Premier League tax, which we always have. It's going to cost at least 100 million to buy these top-quality players. Or he might go and buy a bunch of kids unheard of that could turn around and do a good job. That might be a different story. But inevitably, what he wants to do involves getting sign-off by the Glazers. So inevitably, it's just a very polite way of saying the Glazers are still very much in control of the destiny of our football club and on-pitch performances. Because they can't do jack without getting the money. And who controls the money? He's got sporting control. The word sporting control means hiring managers, buying players, getting the sporting director in place. Doesn't mean you control the money. It's sporting control. The money is still controlled by the Glazers. So what he wants to execute, if the Glazers say, sorry, no money left in the coffers, he can't execute what he wants to do.
No, I think I think everybody knows that, but people just aren't accepting it. Afzal, you had a question?
Yeah. What kind of dessert is Banksy looking at? He's been dead silent for 45 minutes.
Nah, I mean,
Ted was the question.
I'm all right, man.
Ted,
by the way, you guys still haven't flipping given me the answer to my question, boys. What does sporting control do?
It means for goal.
It means you can fart in a boardroom, all right?
Yeah. It means for goal.
But going back to it, I mean, Afzal, I think you've asked the question before as well. Let's try and see, if we can try and answer that. Within 18 months, Glazers can force Jim Ratcliffe to sell. What kind of, if this is a true partnership where you've got confidence in each other, why have they
Don't forget they signed like an anti-disparagement agreement as well or something.
Yeah, where they can't diss each other. Well, that's literally through the mouths. I don't think there's anything stopping them through a third party doing it, but, they can't say outright themselves. But yeah, what kind of deal is this? So you've been asking the question about sporting control, really. I'm asking the question in what world do people think this is actually a good deal?
Basically,
wishful thinking. Tej answered it. Go on.
Basically, Ratcliffe is Glazer's bitch, innit? That's the way to put it. He's a bitch. It's none of it makes sense to me. I said it on Christmas Eve, the filing. Well, obviously a few days later, the filing. The second filing that came out, and even yesterday's filing that came out, nothing makes sense to me. Like, I've gone through it, I've scanned it. It's just bullshit.
Afzal.
Something doesn't read right in all of
this.
it.
Yeah, this is what I was going to say. Afzal.
Yeah.
I know we obviously you as well, Aki, and I know you've got your thoughts as well, Riz. We've not heard. I want to see how I want to word this. Forget everything, that we've ever said in the past, or who people know, or who where we got our information from, and we stuck to what we always said. Okay, forget all that. What are the theories?
By the way,
I know you do, but like you said, I just want to forget that at the moment, because you know what people are like. They're out there crazy, man. Even though they hate us, they're still on us all the time. Retweeting us, tweeting us, and it's just crazy.
But do you know what I love? Just before you start that, I actually love the name Clown Munde. Kudos to who gave that, because we're absolutely loving that, right?
By the way, if you want to purchase a Clown Munde,
clowns. You see, clowns can be seen in two ways. It's quite funny, actually. I like that name, Clown Munde. We might rebrand ourselves. Get a t-shirt going, actually, right? Right, but here's the thing.
Riz, we've got hoodies out. Riz, we've got hoodies out as well.
Clowns represent two things. Yeah, exactly. Clown represent two things: fun, funny, entertaining. Kids' parties, entertaining. Or they could be scary. Yeah, they could be your worst nightmare.
I don't know how I feel about a bunch of 30-odd-year-olds being at a kid's party, but okay.
But I love that. So get it. You got the hood, coming along with Clown Munde.
The hoodies and the t-shirts, man.
It's already out.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Keep the ideas flowing in, boys. Trolls, keep the ideas flowing in. We love that
and
Clown
you know
Munde
what?
one.
Exactly, man. It's just free ideas that they're giving us, so we don't even have to get together as a team to come up with this.
We're not
Just
even.
coming
Yeah,
at
we're
us.
not even working hard anymore.
So thank you for
Yeah,
that.
but
But
go. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, come on, look, guys. There's got to be some theories out there. We've got to try and connect the dots somehow.
Well, I
Let me
have
try.
to you guys, haven't I? But I'm not saying it on air,
Because
bro.
we'll keep Riz's theory private because
No,
obviously
Riz,
Riz
I,
is...
I want to catch up on that later because I'll come a bit late. Sorry, everybody, to the
Yeah.
podcast. Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
So, but yeah, good. So this could be what Riz has already said, or it could not be.
Watch the whole thing and find out. Right. So I have theories, but I want to start by saying thank you to the Discord. Great community, like I've said from day one. Specifically Ronnie, Generic, Stocks. You boys know who you are. It's been a hectic few days. The whole process has been a nightmare. And Dave helped me understand a lot of the things that I didn't understand. And I keep phrasing it in the Discord as like, can you put this in dummy 101 for me? So I can like really understand it. And you know what?
You know what you need to start saying
You know
it
what?
now.
You need to call it. You need to put it in Tej lingo.
I was 100%. I was just about to say exactly that. You need to say, can you explain it to me as though I'm Tej? Yeah? Explain it to me as though I'm Tej. That's what you need to start saying, yeah.
Other person,
Yo,
Brian,
we need a t-shirt out for that, Aki. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Other person, Brian, again, massive help. Thank you for, well, basically helping me understand everything. So I've come up with a couple of ideas, right? Idea one is
Theory,
SEC
you mean,
filing.
Theory.
Theory. Sorry, theories. So theory one is SEC filing hits, and Jim may think, I don't want my name tied to this. I've just spent a year and a half promoting all my businesses, Ineos Grenadiers, my new car branch in Doha, my cycling shorts, my F1 team. I don't need all this negative PR. Oh, yeah, hand sanitizers. Stay safe, people. He might decide, you know what? Sod this, I'm done. I don't need this BS. Now, theory two is there's going to be a hell of a lot of lawsuits. And by that, I'm going to piggyback on what you and Riz said, Hops, when you said defamation of character, obviously the falsifying of the SEC files and things like that, and obviously not disclosing the full information. I believe, I have a theory.
Incorrect information, actually.
Yeah, not disclose. Well, yeah, disclosing.
It's not disclosing the full information because that's a lesser punishment.
Basically,
saying that they basically filed complete and utter lies, and here's the evidence. That's serious.
So my theory on this is Jassim pulls lawsuits, probably against the Glazers. That may lead Class A to follow suit because Class A may feel they've been cheated out of a better offer. Also, Rain. Where do they stand in all this? Because their name has been dragged through the mud. Because apparently, according to the SEC file, so the SEC file states that according to Rain, Jassim couldn't provide proof of funds. Now, why would they, as the brokers of this deal, let someone into this process without providing proof of funds, right? So they've taken a hit. Class A could come in, and then you've also got the obvious thing of if the SEC do find wrongdoing, the Glazers are going to have the federal government on their backs. It's going to be an almighty shitstorm. How long the SEC investigation or whatever it is takes, I don't know how long. That's, how long's a piece of string. It could be very cut and dry. It could drag on for a while. I don't know, but those are my two theories. And again, thank you to all the boys who've helped me piece them together. And
I think it's a hostile takeover. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. The second Ben dropped his tweet, that's hostile.
Go on, Riz. Aki. Go on, Aki.
I think the SEC can also cancel out Jim's deal and force it to Sheikh Jassim and say, look, full sale is Sheikh Jassim's. So there you go.
I don't think the SEC can do that, can they?
I don't think
they?
they can force the bidders onto Jassim's bid, but I believe they can intervene in Jim's bid. Again, someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just my understanding.
I have no idea about that. I'm just assuming surely they can't, no matter what, you can't pick a bidder as an SEC and say, right,
But
you
boys,
are
I have a
buying this
really important question.
Go on.
Our fan base,
Go on.
for as long as I can remember, on Twitter, #Glazers out, #full sale only. Yet Christmas Eve comes around, they all started Christmas early. What happened to full sale only?
Well, do you know
What happened to Glazers out?
You know what? Some people, with the greatest respect, the flip floppers.
Not even the
No,
flip
not
floppers,
even
bro.
respect.
Just the
Not
flipping.
even respect.
No, it is flip flopping because if you're saying Glazers out, 100%, full sale only, and then be happy with this deal, then you were never Glazers out because the Glazers aren't out, 100%, and it's not a full sale only, so you're fucking hypocrites. Simple as that. But go on, Harps. Banks. What's your theory? Go on.
I mean, it's the same with our style because I mean the Discord as well. So it's like he just said. The moment Ben Jacobs mentioned Sheikh Jassim yesterday, they went to a hostile takeover. And the fact that what you said as well, Riz, is that they're not Sheikh Jassim have not gone to the Glazers or to Rain. They've gone directly to the SEC, and that's big. That's not like a small
let's
issue.
just clarify what they've done. They've gone to the SEC, not to say, "Oh, we're unhappy about this because it's false information or misinterpreted." They're saying what they've told you is a complete pack of lies. Here is the documented electronic evidence proving that what they've told you is lies. They've gone, whack, here you go, boys. And they've already submitted it to the SEC, by the way. Here you go, boys.
And this is what I don't get, because the 9-2 Foundation, they've got a team. Their team, you got bankers and you got the Bank of America as well. Do you think they're going to actually make these mistakes? No, they're not going to. They're not going to make these mistakes. It's the Glazers. So they've gone directly to the SEC with proof. And Keegans...
And by the way, the evidence, you don't even need to submit anything to the SEC to prove that there was a lie in there and claimed to be the lie by the Grain Group, right? Of not being able to prove funds. Well, the father of Jassim is who? HBJ. What was reported in every news outlet 2 months ago? He's got a 9 billion open credit line. Yeah?
Yeah.
They've got 9 billion just from that line. Forget their personal wealth. There's 9 billion. So I think that we're in for a really interesting ride. And you know how Sir Alex Ferguson will be putting it to the Glazers now in his Scottish accent? I'm not even going to try to do a Scottish accent. He's going to say, sit tight, boys.
Please try, please.
No, he's telling them, boys, it's squeaky bum time for you now.
I was hoping you'd try.
But it's going to become interesting. Let's see. Harps, no one knows, right? This is theories, as we say. Let's just clarify. But my theory is a simple, short. I'm not going to go around the bushes with it. Very simple. I think it's hostile takeover.
So just expand a bit on hostile takeover. I don't want to linger on it for too long, but what do you mean by hostile takeover?
Hostile takeover. Literally,
Do you mean,
I think it's they're gonna come in now with all of this evidence to the SEC and saying and with the Class A shareholders now also going to be able to see that. Yeah, they're going to say, right, boys, we offered a better deal. They screwed you over. Get behind us all. We're going to give you the money we had promised to them, which they never revealed to you. Help us buy this club now. Let's do it. Hostile, bang. With the pressure hanging over the Glazers' heads of having to try and save their asses from lying to the SEC.
And potential lawsuits of
and the lawsuits and all of that. They could just hold a gun to their head. Listen, we'll drop that. We'll let you walk scot-free, fucking on the deal that we'd originally agreed, which is better for the Class A and better for the football club overall. That's my theory.
The whole thing's just a fucking farce.
There is an element. There's a different element to that, which I don't necessarily want to say live.
Yeah, leave it after us.
We'll chat after, like we were before. Yeah.
Yeah, just before we end,
It's basically a Glazer pass, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's the Glazer's
Steve,
pass.
Glazers, whatever.
Yeah.
The whole thing's fine.
Before I
They're
forget,
a bunch of delay, aren't they? The
well,
Glazers.
I've been watching Mirzapur on Prime. I don't know whether anybody has, but there's some swear words in there. I don't want to repeat it, but but the Glazers have given us the gift of employing 56 lawyers for this deal with Jim Ratcliffe. Also, the commission to the Rain Group, and guess who's paying for it all for the honour?
Man United Football
Manchester United PLC.
And we're gonna back this bid, keeping the Glazers on for an eternity of time, because, like we've said, there's no confirmation from Jim Ratcliffe himself. There's nothing in any of the filings to say that this club will be bought out by Ratcliffe or anything by that time. And I remember that was what people were saying beforehand.
Yeah.
So again, people, whatever you say about us, and we're saying it was done about Qatar and we're backing Qatar, etc., we are wanting Glazer 100%. So at least any of us cannot ever walk away from that, and we do want our club back. Yeah. But just before we do finish,
Handshake, Jassim.
Yeah. I got finish off Harps, and I got a couple of questions for Afsal.
I'm still trying to process my head around, and I've already underestimated the Glazers once, because I already says to a few people, there's no way that the Glazers will go with Jim Ratcliffe and they will do a full sale. There's just no way. Financially and everything else, it just doesn't make sense. Why have the Glazers done what they've done and risked this? Surely even they knew.
Ambush,
they've
bro.
done things.
Go on, what do you mean? I think they rushed into that deal by the 25th of December, and
because they thought that Ratcliffe's going to come out.
But yeah, and if Qatar said to them, listen, we're pulling out, right? You're taking the piss now. You keep changing the goalposts. Accept it, or we're gone. Or if they said even we're gone, let's go down that route. They said they've gone. We walked out. They got no one after this 1 year of process and a whole bunch of fees to pay, right? What the club's going to pay, right? So they're ambushed. They had to make a last minute decision. Oh fuck! He's pulled out. We have to do a deal which is offering us less money.
I heard they wanted to stop some protests happening.
Yeah, Afsal, I've got a couple of questions for you. How much have we got in the? How much have we got in the bank?
Well, it was 80 million at the end of Q1.
Are you saying 80 or 18?
80.
Riz, are you talking about Manchester United or are you talking about Brown Monday?
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say it's about 90 million in the Brown Monday one because of all the money we've made. All these lies with So we got to
actually let's be fully transparent. Brown Monday is minus £1,250. We're in overdraft.
Listen, why are you telling him that, man?
Anyway,
I bought my S24 Ultra on the Brown Monday account.
Yeah. So that was question one. Question two is, are you sure, bro? Should we not have $1 billion in there? Where's the billion gone, mate?
Well,
where's the billion? Jim just got 25%. $1 billion. Where's the billion?
Well, I keep stressing this online because people seem to think they can harass and abuse me over certain things, which is cool. You do you.
They got no dicks, man.
But no, I'm getting to that. So what I keep saying to them is, what I'm saying to them is, wait till completion. Nothing's completed, therefore the billion ain't gone in. The billion's still in Ineos's, Trawler's account.
Okay. Imagine if it was completed. Where's the billion?
Then it'd be split between Jim, Avram, and whatever the fuck the other ones are called.
It's not going to Manchester United, basically.
It's not going to Manchester United Football Club.
Never was.
What is going is they've made a promise of making 300 billion investment into the infrastructure.
300 million.
On the stadium. 300 million. On the stadium, on training facilities, wherever that may be. That's what infrastructure means, yeah? So, again, it goes back to the point that those people are getting super excited. one, nothing is completed. Two, if it does get completed, there's fuck all in the bank for them to be able to execute any kind of sporting strategy whatsoever. And three, if there was anything more than 80 million in that bank, the Glazers have the final say as to whether that money can be spent or not spent.
Neymar's
So
on
actually,
free. Get him.
sporting control means jack shit. Just want to clarify that on a final note. Sporting control just means you've got a seventh Glazer now that wants to do something different. Might be the right different, but he can't do it because he's not got the financial control. Just want to end on that to make it bluntly clear, boys.
I was going to say, you know what would be good though? It'd be good just to actually get players in rather than just getting them all out, because that's all
With
that
what
seems
money?
to be happening at the present money. Well, that's what I mean. So that's what seems to be happening at the moment. So look, for everybody who's supporting the Jim Ratcliffe deal with the Glazers, good luck. Definitely not us. But like we said, Glazers out, Jim Ratcliffe out as well, and that's always going to be our stance. Thank you.
Yeah.
The guy that turns up on your body.